everybody. I don't know if you just heard, I just dropped a bunch of stuff. Hi. I didn't think there would be anybody in here, but there is. I changed up the date on you last minute. But look at y'all. Hi, everybody. How's it going? So sorry that I had to be here for the wrong Thursday. I have a little family reunion coming up next Thursday. So I have to go. I'm going to be at a lake. I can't be paint nighting from there. So we'll do it today. Everybody who can't come today, you'll be watching this on YouTube. Hey, future you guys. Tay the Trickster, says Nico. So sorry. Of course, I wouldn't want to throw you guys off, but I'm glad that we could do it today at least so that there's something happening next Thursday. You can watch it on Caffeine. It'll replay on Caffeine, or it'll be on my YouTube. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the drill. How's it going? How's your June been? Okay, Frida, let's go. Oh my gosh, thanks for the flames. Giving the props early with the sweet Leah. Thank you. Thank you. We're painting a Care Bear today, y'all. Cinderella, who's usually here and would have been here if it was next week, suggested our cutie little Care Bear here, and I thought it was a great idea. I love me some Care Bears. And then when I kind of like snuck talk about it on my stories on Instagram, people freaked out about the Care Bears. So I was like, validated, let's go, Care Bear Day. The thing that's nice about the Care Bears, one, I just heard today that they're coming back. I thought they were like just back when I was a kid, but I think they did like a reboot of the Moose Show or something. So they're coming back, so that's nice. A little more popular than for us millennial pluses. And the other thing that I thought was nice is that you can do whatever, like, you don't have to do the cheer bear like we're doing, this cutie little, obviously I chose the pink one, biasedly. You can follow the same instructions as me and get any Care Bear. They all look the same, just their little belly pictures are different. So if you want to paint a different one, feel free. You can paint any color you want. Oh my gosh, Dresden, see, I didn't know if you guys would be here. I didn't know if you'd catch the memo that it's a week earlier. I thought I was going to be here solo, just chatting with myself. We got the OGs in the peanut gallery. Love to see it. Leah's sharing the broadcast. Love to see that too. Sweet angel. And dropping the cutie. You heard one already. We're doing Care Bears today, Dresden. There's going to be lots of cuties. And I picked like this like classic. Where's my hand? Whoop. This classic style of the Care Bear. I didn't do like the animated one at the start. I thought this one's kind of cute and fuzzy and adorable, so we're gonna do this. Didn't have $900 either. Glad it stayed black and white. What Dresden's talking about is I'm going down this new style of paintings where I paint like a black and white something, it's usually a statue or a skull, and then I like slice it with paint, like colors. It's like Justin coined it the Tay X-ray, and I like kind of like that. So we can say that I Tay X-ray them. And a bunch of people were like, no, keep it black and white. I like it black and white. So I was like, put up the black and white skeleton for sale for $900. I was like, if you want it black and white, you can buy it. But if you don't buy it in a couple days, I'm going to paint it. And somebody bought it. Sweet little angels. But you guys, it's not like me. It's not like me to keep something black and white. I just need to add a little color in there. I need to try the Tay X-ray, prepping my wood canvas. There you go. Doesn't have to be on wood canvas, but the wood helps for frog tape. Like, I get really clean pulls with the tape on wood block. While on canvas, since it has the grooves, it's sometimes you get little leakies, so the wood canvas is good. Taping canvas is a nightmare. Exactly. But yeah, Tay X-ray, let's go. In terms of difficulty, how hard will it be to paint the Care Bear? I don't think it's too hard. I really don't think this one is difficult. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say a 3. Maybe? I'm not going to say 1 because, like, that's the easiest, but I'd say it's like a 3. Like, I don't think it's very... Like, the skull that we did, I would say is like an 8. Not in difficulty of everything, but in difficulty of, like, a paint night of learning. So I'd say it's like a 3. Easy peasy. Just a couple circles and a rainbow. Easy peasy. Also, last thing, good luck with the paint battle. Dresden just bringing up all these things that we can talk about before we start. I did get accepted into an art battle here in Calgary next week. Just under a week. Oh, I caught you on. Just under a week to go. Whew. What's really crazy, you guys, is this is like the championship. Like everybody who's competing has like done this before and won their like city or whatever. This is like provincials. And they're like, yeah, just throw me in there. I've done paint battles before, but not with this company or this like franchise or whatever you want to call them. But very exciting. You have 20 minutes to paint a painting. Whip it out of your butt as fast as you can. And then the audience votes, and then somebody gets voted out. I think there's like 3 rounds. So I have the chance to do it 3 times, 20 minutes of painting. Haven't fully decided what I'm going to paint yet. Might just wing it. Like we're going to wing this Care Bear. Because I haven't thought about the Care Bear either. When I look at him, though, he's just circles. And Nikki's here. Look at you guys. Okay, perfect. We got some regulars here. I don't know if you heard at the start something crash. And it's because I realized I forgot I didn't get my palette. Like I don't have anything to do with palette on. And I have this old whiteboard down here. And this is going to be the palette today. Because I ain't getting out of this dungeon. Oh, and Infinite Silver's here too. Hello, hello. Okay, check out this palette. Just a whiteboard, nothing to see here. Okay. Let's get started, everybody. What time is it? Oh, I'm getting a phone call from Alberta. No, shh. That's... Okay, good, stop. Sorry. Your girl's busy. Don't you know I'm live streaming? Okay. On your change this time. On your change? Oh, just kidding. Oh, my change the time. Sorry, I didn't read that right. I'm supposed to be next week, but it's not super last minute. I'm a little more last minute. We found out a quick little family reunion that we're going to run down to. So that'll be next Thursday. I'll be at a lake. Can't live stream from there. What can you do? So let's paint, y'all. Quick couple little things I always go over every time before I start, in case there's some newbies here, in case there's some newbies watching on YouTube. Number 1, I'm not really a trained teacher. I just am a full-time artist who started doing these paint nights, and I teach you how to paint like me, and that doesn't mean that it's the only way to paint. There's so many ways out there. I paint messy and crazy, and some people hate that. So if I'm ever doing something that you're like, ooh, I don't like that, don't do it, okay? You can paint as clean as you want. You can do whatever you want. I'm just here to show you the basics, and you kind of go from there, okay? Number 2 is if you want to start with a pencil, feel free to start with a pencil. I know Nico will be. He always does. And some people prefer that, and that's fine. I will be teaching you with a little baby paintbrush. But if you want to start with a pencil or a watercolor, pencil, crayon, anything like that, feel free to go for it. Number 3, I think number 3 is probably the most important. Don't treat it too precious, okay? None of our Care Bears are going to look exactly like this picture. None of our Care Bears are going to look the same. They're all going to look different, and that's okay. Don't treat it too precious. If you're already going to be like, I'm going to ruin it, you're not going to have fun. We're here to have fun. Just easy peasy, throw some paint around, see what happens, enjoy the act of painting, because it's a therapeutic act, okay? Number 4, trust the process. Halfway through, our paintings are all going to look very weird. They're going to be a bunch of shapes and stuff, and you're going to be like, what's happening? This isn't right. But if you trust the process, you'll know that we're going to get something that looks like a Care Bear by the end. Number 5, water is our friend. We're using acrylic paint as a water-based paint. You need a little bit of water in there to help you pull the paint around. And number 6 is like, have fun, okay? That was kind of added into number 3. But let's have fun. Don't be stressed. We're here to have a good time, okay? Okay. I just noticed I never say that unless I'm streaming. Okay? Okay. Let's get some pink out. Let's just get right into it. I'm doing the cheer bear, obviously, because I'm biased to pink. You don't have to be pink. Whatever bear color you are doing, whatever bear you want, pick that color. That's the color you'll be using first. Like I said, I'm taking out pink right out the tube. If you don't have pink, red and white. Easy peasy. And you can see my water a little bit. Let me just scoochy scoochy. Okay, you are going to take, if you're not using a pencil, you're going to be taking a little brush. It's pointed some sort. It can be small like this. It can even be a little bit bigger if you don't have that small of one. I'm probably going to go with this. It can even be square if you want. But imagine, like, we're just drawing our base drawing out. Painting, but drawing. So you want to use something that's like a pencil. Imagine that. I've got the little pointed here. And you are going to go to your little water dish. See my hand over here? This is the water dish. Just gonna see how my whiteboard palette works today. But see how I'm putting my brush into the water and I'm just bringing little drips of water onto my palette. Some people that I've been teaching lately, they've literally just poured a little bit of water from their water dish onto their easel. Whatever works. But see how I'm just mixing it together to make this kind of watered down chocolate milk consistency type of paint. So way more water than paint. Hardly any paint. You just want it to be a watery pigment pile down here, okay? Like if I move my whiteboard, do you see how like, oh, it drips. See, it's nice and watered down. And the reason we do that is because it's going to dry very lightly and it's not going to be hard to cover up because again, this is just our base drawing and it just kind of helps us start laying stuff out. Let me get this guy up here so I can see. It just helps us lay stuff out to make sure that we can get this Care Bear started. So, step one is we're just going to imagine this Care Bear. We're going to look at him right here. Boop, boop. We're just going to imagine him on here, right? So he'll have roughly his head will be here, his belly will be here. We need to make sure there's room for his little feeties, his little ears. When you try to picture him on there, it helps a little bit because people get intimidated by canvases a lot. And it's so easy to just draw a little baby guy right in the corner and not use the whole thing. Or it's very easy to make him so huge, you make his belly big and then there's no room for the rest of him. So just try to imagine him on there. And we're going to take our little baby brush. And the first thing we're going to do is just draw a circle that's going to be where his belly is, her belly, whatever. Right, that white circle right in the middle that has a little rainbow in it. It's not the perfect circle when you look at it, but that's okay because drawing a perfect circle is hard. So let's just go, see, it's like the bottom half. If we were gonna split the canvas in half, it's on the bottom, not too far down because we gotta fit cute little legs in there, and not too high up because we're gonna fit a little head up at the top, right? And see how I go around a few times. Doesn't matter that the circle's not perfect. It's a little crazy in some spots. Because it's borderline impossible to paint a circle perfect. Unless you saw on TikTok, there's a teacher that goes with his like full arm and it's like a perfect circle. That's next level. We just want to do a little baby circle on here. Roger, asking if I'm an art teacher. Hey, that was rule number 1. Not really. I'm not by any means like a trained teacher, but I have been doing these paint nights just since like COVID, so for the last 2 years. So I guess by affiliation, but I'm not like an official art teacher. No, I am a full-time artist. I am an artist for a living, but not a teacher. All right, so we've got this little circle cutie belly there, right? Easy, right? Not stressed. Easy. And we are going to make a little egg up here. Imagine this second arm. So see how he's holding his hands? Oh, wait, I'm backwards. He's holding his hands like this a little bit. So the arm that's on this side is a little bit smaller than the other one because this arm's coming around. So we are just going to draw an egg going over top our circle. It almost looks like we're drawing a bear down here, but this is just a little egg on top of our big circle. Always look where it overlaps, right? It overlaps a little bit. And try to get her close to the right spot. Remember, always look at the reference photo down here to see like where I'm getting these shapes from or why I'm deciding to do these things, right? We're simplifying all those little shapes of our cutie little bear. And then we'll add detail as we get closer to the end. But this is just our base drawing, and we're laying out where we want everything to go. So, now that we've got that one arm started, let's plan the other arm. And he's got like a cute little like whatchamacallit. I just want to draw beans. I do just want to draw beans. And we're going to draw a circle first and then another bean, okay? So look how his hand interacts with his other hand. So we're just going to draw a little circle. And again, it needs to overlap the egg we did, go over the circle we did a little bit, but this is his cute little hand. Right? He has a hand and it's going to continue his arm over here, but this is just his cute little hand. Again, always look where stuff is overlapped. It's going to feel a little confusing, but it's okay. It all comes together. Let's do one more bean. Bean science, just like Dresden's talking about. Everything we paint, there's at least a couple beans in there. This one has more than a few beans. All right? So from his cute little hand, what has he got? His other little arm. Let's go right here. Swoop. And it's another bean. That's the same angle as this bean. It almost looks like we're drawing a bow. You're drawing Pepe. It does like, see, this is where I'm saying trust the process, because what is this? You're going to be like, Taylor, this is going to be a Care Bear? What you talking about, Willis? But it will be. It's a Taylor guarantee. I just keep saying it's a Taylor guarantee these days. Alrighty then. So we've got where his little arms are going to go. Now we gotta lay out where his little body and legs are gonna go. They're a lot easier than the arms we just made. But remember, this white circle that we made is the white belly. So outside a little bit is the pink part of him, right? There's the white belly and he's got a little bit of pink chubby poking out the side. So you're just gonna draw a line parallel to this line, right? We're just gonna come from his little arm and we're gonna copy that shape, right? This circle, and we just copied that shape. That's where the pink will go. The white belly, pink body coming out the side. I'm still using this really watered down paint. Like, see when it dries, it gets even lighter. This is just our rough sketch. I'm gonna say the same thing over and over again, but so you're not stressed. Okay, and out this side, it's a little bit different. It's not as exactly parallel. He's got a cute little butt, and we want to draw that cute little butt. So instead of being exact, we're going to come out a little bit, but a little bit bigger. See how it's not exactly parallel, but we've come out a little bit for a cute little butt. Can't go wrong with a cute little butt. Right? And for those little legs, basically right down the middle. Maybe, oh look, right where this drip conveniently just went. Well, that's where we'll go. Maybe a little bit further. We are going to draw one line down for one leg and come a little bit to side it and do a little bit of a curved line for the other leg. It looks like we just did two. This looks like his legs right now, like we could drawing a stick man, doesn't it? Anybody coming in right now is going to look at this and be like, what are you doing? But we're trusting the process. We know it's going to be a Care Bear. Am I right? And now from that, oh, my paintbrush is in the way. From that cutie little butt we parked out here. It does look like a crazy emoji guy. It really does. Let's draw another line just parallel to that one, right? We've got his leg coming out the side here. Imagine this is a square. You could even draw a square there if you want to make sure that you're doing the shape right. Some people might want to draw the square. You don't have to draw that line. But guess what? We're doing another bean. The bean science is real. At the bottom of this squared leg that we just made, we've got another bean. Remember, some of you might not have this line in the middle. if you don't, just to see it better. See, we got a circle right at the bottom there. And see, when your paint is this watered down and wet, and before it dries, I can like erase it like that. I just dip my rag in water, and it's before it's dry. Up here, I couldn't do that anymore, but since I just laid that down with a little wet rag, I can wipe away some of the lines. You don't have to wipe away the lines. Obviously, we're going to be painting over those later, but just if you wanted to ever do that. But there's another bean for another leg. Who said you couldn't erase paint, right? A lot of people think that paint is permanent. It's not. Whether it dries, you can always paint over top of it. It's good to go. Okay. Oh, that drip is by accident, but that's fun. That's what I mean by I paint messy and I enjoy it. But okay, we've got his cute little butt and one leg over here. And remember, nothing's permanent. We're just laying out where we think we want everything to go. So if later on you want to make his butt bigger, easy peasy, we can do that too. But now his other foot is at a little bit of an angle. If you want and you don't want to put it at an angle, you could literally do exactly the same thing we just did there. I just stuttered. It can go just straight down with the circle at the bottom. Easy. That'll be the easiest way to do it. If you want, you can do what we see in the picture here, and you do a little bump. Just a little bumpy, because if we did an angle on this side, right, there's a little bumpy there. And then let's do another bean. And so this is kind of like when you are starting, it's always the best to do it like this, the full shape, right? You did the whole egg on there, it helps you do it. Once you get a little bit more advanced when it comes to drawing stuff out, you can just imagine the full circle, but not do the full circle, right? We're imagining that we're going to do that full bean. Oops. Right? But I can stop at this line. Does that kind of make sense? If you don't want to do it all the way through, right? Like I'm pulling my paintbrush up, but you don't have to do the whole circle if you're comfortable in your shape placement. But right, and what I mean by that is like, right, you can do the whole circle, so you can get that if it feels better to do the whole circle. But you don't gotta. And remember, you can always erase it quickly, but it has to be quickly. See, if I come over here, it wouldn't, oh, it kind of, no, it's good. But look, we already got half a Care Bear. And it's 7:27. Okay. So we see them all coming together. We've got his little belly. We've got some legs. We need a cute little tail out of that cute little butt we made. And it's going to be really easy. We really just have to do like the letter S. Almost. Oh, what am I doing? Got a little too wet on me there. So we're going shoop. See how that's like an S? You can even move your canvas if you're painting flat. If it's easier for you to make an S looking at it like that, go for it. Just a little whoop. We've got an S or like a hook, maybe a hook hand. And then from that S, we are gonna basically do the same thing. It looks like a little chickadee, a little ducky. We can fix and play with the size a little bit more, but that's basically what his cute little tail is at the moment. I've heard at least that many. Oh, thank you for the cuties. Times 5. Don't deserve you. Just too nice to me. Thanks, Justin. That's the best. You're the best. Okay, what are we doing now? We've got the bottom half of our cutie little panda. It's not a panda, it's Care Bear. Complete. Now we're moving on up to that cute as a button face. And how should we go first? Okay. What we're going to do first is this circle. If you start feeling a little bit too confused with too many shapes in here, let me know. I can start simplifying them a little bit more. But let's do that cute circle nose. Right above that circle hand we did, this is where his cute little white snout begins, and everything's going to build off of that. And look at me, I think, here I was telling you, don't go too big. I think our Care Bear is going to touch close to the top. See, it's tough. You can't get them right every time, okay? You can't get them right every time. But we've got its cute snout started. How are we feeling? When I hear nothing from you, I just assume we're just contently painting away. We've got that circle in the middle. Good. Okay, good, good, good. Like to hear it. And now see his puffy, cute little cheeks. We're going to go there next, okay? From that circle, which we can always make bigger or smaller later, let's puff out that cute little cheek. And guess what? It's basically another bean. But we're going out from that nose and coming back in until we reach that hand. I do usually make my characters chubbier than they are supposed to be. Happens to the best of us. But guess what? That other snout or other cheeky is the same. We're just bubbling out. Almost looks like a flower. Oops. That's okay. We've got those chubby little chipmunk cheeks. Might help to say how far out we do the cheeks. Okay, that's fair. Thank you. That's helpful. So about where, basically almost parallel with these little arms we made. Just trust the process and go with the flow. Yeah. It's an answer too. But about where their little armies go. Right? Here's his arm. Here's his cheek. They're not too far off each other. Did that help a little bit? Basically parallel. Maybe a touch smaller. Yep. And then from there, we want some of his cute cheeks to puff out a little bit, right? And you decide how far you want them to puff out. I'm going to say about, whatever, a thumb's worth, maybe. Right? If we're going to go on that side and this side. Close enough for now. Okay. And easy enough, we're just going to go until they meet the top of each other. Chipmunk feels right now. It totally does. I know, is she going to fit on the canvas? I know, that's what I was just saying. I was like, look, here I was talking about make sure you picture, but yes, her little tuft might go right off the canvas, but she would fit. I probably could have brought her down an inch. This happens all the time. When I work on like commissions and my other work or whatever now, I like map it out. I map out a square of where the painting has to go. Because this happens to me all the time. If I just eyeball it, it's usually like not in the middle or like too close to one edge, and it drives me crazy. It's because I'm cross-eyed, so my depth perception's very off, and it's getting worse, so thumbs up. But no, look, she fits in there, because look, her little ears are on the side a bit, and guess what her little ears are? Basically little beans too, but you can just go boop, a little half circle on one side, and a little half circle on the other side. And again, see, it's nice and messy. That's okay. But we've got a Care Bear on this canvas. She's packing a cutie little caboose. Sound effects required. 1000%. But do you see a Care Bear in there? Have you been trusting me enough to see a little Care Bear in there? I'm just making sure that everything that we did here, yep. Yep, yep, yep. I guess in the ears too, you can make like one more smaller size to do the inside of the ear. So again, it's like the same shape that you already did, just a little bit smaller. It looks complete. Great paint night. Yeah, She's done. This is what we mean by trust in the process, y'all. Okay. So, call it a night here. We're done. We're done. Okay. Are we all doing pink ones, by the way? Or is anybody doing a different colored cutie? I saw that someone followed my suggestion of dancing in the studio. Hey, I'm roller skating in the studio for sure. The roller skating is real. I used to be able to do it in my apartment, and now in our new home, we don't really have the best place to do it. Oh, so the studio is my roller skating derby. Okay. Alrighty then, we've got the base of our polar bear down. You're gonna do yours tomorrow, and you're gonna do a few different colors all together. I love that. I am going to grab pink. Not pink. I'm going to grab white for whatever color you have. Like if you're doing pink, great. Pink should still be on your palette. But we're grabbing white no matter what you're doing. Where is my palette? Yeah, I guess you can do this paint night as many times as you want. And paint all the Care Bears. You'll have to ad-lib their bellies. That's okay. All right, so we have some white on our palette. But even though I just told you to do that, we're not going to start with the white. You're not doing the Ninja Turtles all over again. Hey, you can. You are going to be bumping up your brush to a little bit bigger. It can be a square brush. It can be another pointed one. Again, depending on your canvas size, it might need to change a little bit. Again, Nico does a really small canvas, so whenever I'm like, use this medium-sized brush, she's like, that's the biggest brush you could ever use. I'm going to use this little square one. Shameless plug to go to Instagram. Infinite Silver. You're the bomb. Thank you. Taytayski on Instagram. Let's go. So now we're going to ditch that chocolate milky consistency that we have already, that we've been using this whole time. We want to go just straight into the paint. You're going to get your brush wet because water's your friend. Rule number 5, I forgot. And you're going to go right into that thick chunk of paint, not the chocolate milky, just the straight up thick paint. And we are going to start going around into some of the darker parts of our cute little why do I keep calling it a panda bear? It's a Care Bear. Okay? It's going to feel really dark at first, but we're going to be going over it with a lot of other colors. So we're going to start in some of the darker spots, like right under this cute little arm. We're just going to bring some of this dark pink around, okay? And the thing that's fun with this one, actually, just kidding, ignore me there. I'm going to bring that up later. We're going to talk about that later. So we are just brushing on in some of these spots where it's the darker. And I'm kind of being conscious of my brush strokes, like I'm imagining that I'm painting on the little furs. So I'm always going like up to down or up and out, just like the way that I think his little furs would go, because it kind of helps you get that texture, that consistency that looks like fur. It kind of like helps you not have to paint as much detail. But I'm only gonna go about halfway. That's good for now. Same with this side. Let's just go right under that arm. And I'm just gonna lightly brush on some darker pink. That's gonna be in the darker spots. A little under that little belly. And in their kneecaps. And this is kind of how we're going to be painting her fur. Like, it's going to be like brush strokey and choppy like this because she's a fluffy little gal. That's how we like to see it. My lips are chapped. I thought I had lip chap over here. Okay. Right, we've got that darker color. And where else can we see it? Underneath their little chinny chin chin. And in this little palmy palm, I'm going to do a little bit of dark right there. Realistically, if this is nitpicky for you, you can paint the entire thing dark pink. Or dark whatever color you're using. That is totally fine. We're gonna go above these little cheekies and same thing. Let's just brush on some of that dark pink under those cute little cheeks. We're using the thick paint, not the chocolate milky paint. Looks like her ears are dark too. Same on this side. And I just fluffed some little hairs out the top there. Floop, floop. And who cares? Let's do it in the middle too. That works too. So we've got a lot of the areas that we need to be dark. That's a tough one. So Dresden asked, would the light source be considered top down? I'm not gonna lie to you, this photo that we're looking at doesn't really have an obvious light source. It actually doesn't really make lots of sense. Maybe top left down, like maybe the sun's coming from here, but it's pretty simplified. Like if you painted the panda. Why am I calling it a panda today, you guys? If you painted the Care Bear, completely solid color, it wouldn't look that much different than this, to be honest. Top left forward, yeah, like this, maybe, like right here, but a little lefted. So like, because you can see on the top of her little foot, there's a little bit lighter, the top of her foot and her knee there. That's what would give that away, but it's not very heavily shaded, valued, whatever you want to say. Okay, I know you're going to be like, this is a little weird. It looks kind of crazy. But we're going to go into our white, but we just want a little bit of white. I have been told that these mixing color part is difficult for some people. And it's very, like I said, it's hard to teach. It's easier for me to say like, oh, grab more pink than you would white. But until you kind of play around with it more and notice how to mix colors and how quickly things react or colors react to white, you're going to really just have to play with it. But you know that we work dark to light, right? So should we just paint the whole thing pink? Would that just be easier for people? I don't know. Your brain is still at the panda you painted a few months ago. Yeah, that's true. We did do... It's because I've seen... It's down there. I literally just saw that today. You're right. The panda keeps popping in my brain. Okay, so we are just going to go one stage lighter than what we were doing before, which means just a tiny touch of white with our pink. And I'm still using that medium-sized brush. And we're going to go kind of over those dark spots a little bit. Not completely. Do you see? Can you kind of see the subtle difference? Like this is the darker and this is the lighter right here. Can you see that? I'm going to make it just a touch lighter. Again, we're using thicker paint. Doesn't have to be that watered down consistency, but you do want some water on your brush. But can you see that difference? See, it's a little bit lighter. And see, still, I'm doing this like roughy, brush strokey painting style. If I zoom in here, where's my mouse? You can see that it's still like brush strokey. I'm imagining that I'm painting her fur. I'm going into these spots that I haven't painted, but also a little bit into the spots that we have painted just to start getting some of that layering up. But remember what I always say, we don't want to cover up all of the work that we've just done. So with all that dark pink, we put it there for a reason. We want it to peek through in some of these spots. And remember, we're going to just keep going and adding lighter pinks, and it really builds up a nice texture and nice depth. And again, it can be, I wish the camera would show how like chunky I'm putting it on. You can't really tell. But it's chunky. Get back there. Chunky monkey. And we're going around into these spots. Doop, 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 doop. Brush stroke, brush stroke, brush stroke. A little over top that knee. And again, everyone's pink is different. Everybody's technique is different. So it's not going to look the same, and that's okay. But we're brush stroking. We're brush stroking. Look at that little teddy bear growing up. Growing up? Building up, I think is what I meant to say, not growing up. So again, this is just the next lightest step. So we went from the darkest to medium. We're still with the medium. And let's fill in that cutie little hand that we drew in down here. We're doing it in this medium color so that it kind of pushes it back a little bit in the distance. But we're coloring in that bean. Remember, we put that little dark circle there, and we're going to keep it there for now. But we've got his back arm drawn in. I keep forgetting to put music on. I hope you guys put music on at home. Don't let me just keep you silent. So we've got little booty. Everything's kind of building up in there with this medium pink. Same in here. Why don't we cover in this hand? Right, that circle that we drew is now turning into a cute little hand. All those crazy lines are getting pushed back a little bit, right? And we can see her coming together a little better. And remember, everything was just a rough draft. Nothing's permanent. So like if you want her arm to be a little chubbier, like bring it deeper than you had before. That's more than okay. And we're going to fill that in. Right? Do you kind of see it? Oh, there's a drip forming in his little belly. Do you kind of see him coming in a little bit more? Right? His arm is above the other arm, but that was just a bean in a circle, and now it's his arm coming together. And I'm still using that medium pink, medium whatever color you're using. And we're gonna go back up onto his face. And same thing, we're brushing up and out like his little hair strokes. Right. And again, when it comes to people who are a little bit more advanced and want to do a little bit of wet on wet work, this is not everybody has to do this. We can go in and fix it after if you're not comfortable with the wet on wet. But right, we just put that medium pink up there. You can go right into your hot pink and brush it down onto that wet paint and get that nice gradient too. Right, it's a little bit darker, but it's literally blending in on the canvas because the paint is wet still. So it's not going on as the straight hot pink, it's blending with the medium. And the way that we work around that if you're not advanced or if that's not something that you want to try is that later we'll go in, we'll just mix that color ourselves and then brush that onto it. You can always do it backwards. It doesn't have to be mixed on the canvas. Just something fun to play with. Working wet on wet is lots of fun. You get nice blends in there. Oh, that was a mistake. That's okay. Nice textures. I'm all for experimenting and seeing what happens. And we're just filling up that top head. Can you guys hear the baby birds chirping? I don't know if they're making it through on the microphone. Okay, and in that pile of medium pink, you always want to try to save a little bit of that medium just in case you need it. Not just in case, you probably will need it later, but it's easier than mixing it again. You can grab a little bit of that medium pink and let's grab a big old chunk of white. We want to make a lighter pink. Not the lightest pink, but a little bit lighter pink than what we've been using. We're going to go fill in those cute chubby cheeks. Okay. Right, our paintbrush is wet, but we're not using that chocolate milk consistency. And we're going to go to this cute nose of his, and we're just going to brush. See, it's not too much lighter than what we've been using. But we're going to brush that pink in and see how I'm going with the shape, right? I'm kind of following that outside circle shape. You don't have to do it. You can paint it all crazy if you want, but sometimes when you follow that, or you're conscious of your brush strokes, sometimes you get cool results, or it helps you out a little bit. Let me know how we're doing for speed, if I'm going too fast. That's something I forgot. That's a rule that I thought I had written down. I was just looking at my little rule sheet, is that if I ever go too fast, or I talk too fast, or I'm confusing, holler at you, girl. I'm known for speaking very fast. My brain runs a mile a minute. All right, so we painted in those cute cheeks. And we still have this lighter pink, and this might still be a little wet, right? This top face up here. And we can add some of that lighter. It's very subtle, but you can also lighten that up in there. Again, depends how much detail you want to add in, how many layers, because you can go and keep adding another layer of lighter pink forever until it looks extremely, extremely detailed, or not. You've made me a faster painter. Hey, you gotta paint fast. You gotta paint fast. Quick and dirty is what I like to say. It's also because I have ADHD, so I'm just bringing you guys along with me. And I paint like somebody with ADHD. I like jump around and stuff. But hey, you want to paint like Tay? You gotta come along for the ride. All right, so see how that light pink is this light pink, and it's subtly blended in there. Again, we're doing those nice little fun brush strokies, pretending we're fur. And same on here, just the top part of this arm is light, right? If we're looking at our reference photo, we can see it's a little bit lighter in these spots. And Nico, weren't you like why do I feel like you were like a miniature? Like, did you paint miniatures? I know that somebody that came to paint night painted miniatures. You can. Oh. Okay, then maybe it wasn't you. I know somebody that came was like a big miniature painter, and how I paint is crazy compared to painting minis and stuff, right? But so I'm still using that light pink. So what you're saying is keep up. Hey, Dresden, you're not wrong. I'm not necessarily keep up. That's why with people on YouTube is like easier because they can like pause whenever they want, right? Which is nice. But just in my personal experience as a full-time artist, if I didn't paint fast, I wouldn't be as like profitable or as successful, I guess, because it's how you make money. You gotta paint quick. I can't like take months to do a painting, right? Oh, and the momager has arrived. Tossing out the props right away. Sweet, sweet soul. Hi, Justo. Everybody say hi, Justo. What are we doing over here? We are lightening stuff up. Right, we've got this little bit lighter pink on here. Heyo, Teo. And this is still the same pink we did in his cute little cheekies. And I'm gonna go down here on that toe, maybe a little bit on the knee. And again, I'm just painting thick, chunky strokes. It doesn't look as clean as you think it does from far away. That's one thing that I keep forgetting to tell you guys. Take a step back from your painting sometimes. Like if you're this close and you do a brush stroke and it's ugly to you, you're like, the painting's ruined. But if you like turn around, look at something else, and then look back at your painting, you'll realize like, oh, that little tiny brush stroke down there doesn't matter, and the painting's actually awesome. This was me going, awesome. So make sure you take a step back. Very important. Very, very important. We've got some lighter and his little toesies here. Maybe some in here. Again, I'm always painting them in the little hairy direction. And Oprah swings by. What do I do to deserve you? What do I do to deserve you? Coming with the fireworks. What? I wish I had a pew 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 pew. Because I would be doing that right now. Thanks, Oprah. Let's add a little medium pink in that little cutie tail. I don't really know what else. We can do this light pink, a curve around that curve that we did to start putting in where his other little hand is. Because he's got a little thumb up there, but putting a little bit of lighter pink there and a little bit of lighter pink there. Again, tell me if I'm going, and tell me if when I said level 3 difficulty, if that's fair at the time. Usually I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so fast and they like, take so long. I'm like, it's so easy, it's like the hardest one, so we'll just see. But guess what? We're gonna take another big old glob of white. Like, look at this big old glob. And I'm gonna go into that pink that we were using, because now we want very, very light pink. The lightest pink. Her brain and energy's high, that's why you watch the way we are. Sweet angels. Hey, Dan does say that that's my superpower. He's talking to people, making friends. Which I thought was everybody's superpower, but I didn't know. I know that's why I always say, like, the ADHD's helped me. It's just got me to where I am today. Okay, so we've got a way lighter pink now on our palettes because we just added a whole bunch of white to that pink that we were already using. Am I right? And we're going to paint in these cute little puffy cheeks. And we're going to be like hairy. Like, see how let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. We're going to be hairy. That doesn't make sense. You can make friends with a mailman. And I do. Especially when I lived downtown, like, I would always know, like, the UPS guy, everyone who works in the building, the chef's plate guy, everybody. So we've got this way lighter pink on our brushies, right? And we are just gonna, like, see how I'm painting. And you might want a smaller brush, maybe that'll help. We're just gonna paint like fluffy fluffs. See how every stroke is a hair? Boom, 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 boom. We're still gonna paint a white circle in the middle here, so that's okay. But see, we're going with these little fluffy fluffersons. And that's how we make her look so fluffy and cute, is by doing these little brushes. Or little brushes, little brush strokes, right? I'm like, doop, 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 doop. And again, like I said, you don't want to cover up all the work underneath. We're not doing it solid. We want to see some of that lighter, that darker pink underneath. And Tech Narwhal, oh my gosh, you just saw that. Hello. How's it going? It's been a while. And kind of missed the traffic in Sirens, says Dresden. And that's really funny because same. I will admit that I warmed up to Suburbia way quicker than I thought I would. I will admit. It is crazy how quiet it is. But it is nice that I can take my garbage out at 1 in the morning and not feel like I'm going to die. That's a positive. Okay, so we've got all these little fluffies, right? Little fluffersons. He's already becoming so cute and fluffy. Tech, Narwhal, and Oz missing me. Are you guys both there? Is Oz here? Oz, it's your girlfriend. And again, remember how much you want. You can add some of this lighter pink in its cute little top head if you want. And again, there's not much paint on your brush, or not much water on your brush. I'm pressing pretty lightly to do these wispy whispersons. But we're just adding a couple more of these little light ones around. How about right here too, and his little hang. Oh, you guys can't even see that. Jerk. Look at it coming together. Mine's gonna be way more hot pink than the actual one. And again, we've got this way lighter white, so we're just gonna go back into some of these spots and do some more of those little brushy little Harrisons. Oops. But we're not covering up the work we've done before. We're just adding some of it here. And again, you can always look at the reference photo and decide where you want to put some stuff. Because that's all I'm doing. I'm looking at the reference photo and I'm repeating it where I can. I probably made his top half cheeks a little dark, but that's okay for now. Maybe a little tough on his little Tufferson tuffy tail. It passed the copyright of a brand. This is a Taytayski Care Bear. Sorry, forgot to tell you. Oz says hi with a Putin uni. What did I do to deserve him? What did I do to deserve him? Thanks, Oz. Little cupcake. Oz is a dog. Just so everybody knows. Oh, and then Justin comes in with another one. They travel with friends. Thank you, guys. Spoiling me. Spoilers. Okay, do we see a Care Bearer coming to life in there? Well, now we are going to need just plain old white. Mine's kind of been, what's the word? Compromised. Ugh, mine has been compromised with pink, so I'm just opening up my white again. Just to get a little more pure white onto my palette. And then again, whatever brush you feel like using, a medium-sized brush. It can be pointed, it can be squared, it can be the one you were just using. Try to get all the pink off, though. We want pretty pure white. And we want not much water because we want the paint to go on pretty opaquely. Oh, my knees. We want the water to go on very opaque. We want the paint to go on very opaque. And more water makes it more translucent. So less water is more right now. Just a little bit of water to pull that around. I'm just making sure every bristle of my paintbrush is filled with white. And I'm going to go in this cute circle that we made. I'm going to go a little bit bigger than the circle that we made. Maybe I'll zoom in for this guy. Okay, like see what I mean by I'm going to go a little bit bigger. I'm going to bring my white a little bit over the edge that I did. Whoop. Just to clean up that line. How is that? Right, we've got his cute little snout place. Some people's white, you might need to do it a couple times, a couple layers. Again, I always name drop Golden because they're the best of the best. That's the white that I use. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, even though I feel like I should be. Shout out Golden. But I always buy my black and white in Golden because it is Golden acrylics because they are the best. Okay, so we've got that cute little shape on there, and while it's still wet, we're gonna go and get another little baby brush again. Maybe it's the small brush that you use to outline. Maybe you've got a smaller one. It helps that it's pointed. And I'll give you a quick little pressure line. Class. Just kidding, not class. When you are trying to do something skinny with a paintbrush, Dresden's favorite part, you're going to want to use just the tip of your brush. So if you see my, where can we go? See my hand here? See how just the tip of the brush is touching my hand? and I pull that line across. Look at that nice little skinny line. But if I were to put the whole paintbrush, see, like every bristle is flat against my hand, and I pull that line across, see how much thicker that bottom line is. So that's just to show that if you want very small lines, you want to use just the tip of your paintbrush. So use your elbow on the table or hold your elbow, whatever works. Even put your hand on your canvas if it's not wet where you're putting your hand to hold most of the pressure. And then just lightly with the tip of your brush, you can flick some little wispy cutie hairs off the top of his snout. Do you see that there? Because like I said, I didn't pick the smooth cartoon one. I picked the cute, fuzzy, hand-drawn baby. So you can do cute little wisps. Maybe there's another wispy over there. I don't know. Why not? Taylor's a tips teacher. I am. Tips with Tay. Tips with Tay. So right, we've got his little schnoz. That's cute. His little mouth hole will be on the side down there somewhere. You don't have to draw it out, but you can. See that little white? Whoop. Okay, we still got pure white on our brushes, and we are going to go to his belly, her belly, his belly, whatever. And we are going to do that same wispy hair thing. I'm still using that small brush. You can add a little bit more water to your brush so it kind of helps you pull it across better. Not the chocolate milk consistency, but just a little bit of water added. And when we're going to go from inside the belly, and again, just like flick out some cutie little hairs. And remember, when nothing's permanent, like if you want to make his belly bigger, you can like bring the white out more if you want. If you want it smaller, you would paint pink a little bit more inside. But right now, we're just making those wispy cutie hairs. Beep, beep, beep. Coming out of that belly hole. Just kidding, that belly circle, whatever. Wispy cutie hairs. Yeah, sorry, I don't know where my brain was going there. Belly hole, circle of the belly, I don't know. If your inside of your belly is a little messy, you can white out the whole thing if you want. I'm not going to. We're going to draw a rainbow in there at some point. A belly void? Yeah, right now it does look like a belly void, doesn't it? Okay. That's a pretty cutie Care Bear so far. Wow, you did this fast. It's perfect. Thank you, Roger. We still have a little bit of ways to go, but we do work a little quick in here. That's what we were just talking about. I got ADHD, you guys. Let's go. Let's go. My brain's running a mile a minute. It's funny because I was like a server. Time's money. It is. I was a server before like art was my full-time job. And I worked downtown Calgary, so it's a tourist spot. Well, by no means is Calgary a hot tourist location, but it was more than you think. And during Stampede, we would have so many people that like with English as their second language, or they wouldn't even speak English. And that was always the problem. Like I'd go up and I'd say my name and my spiel, and I could just see them looking at me like, what did you say? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And my boyfriend's parents also, like, they're Romanian first, and that was one thing, too, when we first, he's like, Taylor, you talk a little fast. Talk a little fast. Slow it down. Give them some time to understand what you're saying. It's just like when you hear, like, Spanish or something else, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so fast. Any newbies here tonight? Roger. Heck yeah. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Oh, I feel like I froze. Okay, there we go. So we've got quite the panda Care Bear. Oh my Lanta. Started. We are going to draw where those cute little eyeballs go. You can do this with black or you can do this with white. Doesn't hurt to start with white just to see if it will work. And we're going to just draw where those little eyeballs are going to go. Right? So we've got that cute little button nose that we just did, and it's gonna be just a teardrop on either side, right? There's almost like a perfect little spot that we made, right, in this little part. And let's just do a cute little eyeball. And see how it's just, again, a bean, basically. Cute. Oh, Daryl. Coming in with the rose. Thank you. Appreciated. Good to see ya. See ya. But look at these two little cutie bean eyes. Right? Whoops. And again, I'm winging this with you. You see a Saturn. Yeah. That Saturn's from my boyfriend. He's a space guy. And when our first Valentine's together, he showed me Saturn in his telescope. We're teaching kids how to see Saturn through his telescope. Super cute. But I wanted to put it somewhere that I see all the time. Boop. Okay, what are we doing here with our cutie panda? Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know why the panda just keeps coming out. My brain has decided it's a panda and that's how it shall stay. You mean fiance? I know. I do mean fiance. I'm bad with that word. Yes, Dan and I are engaged. We've been engaged since October, I guess. My ring is sent off at the moment. But, thank you. I just don't like the word fiance, you guys. I don't know why. We both don't. Dan doesn't like it either. It's just a weird word. My fiance. It feels weird. My partner, I guess. But we ain't planning a wedding anytime soon, so... Weddings are exhausting, you guys. All right. We've got a cutie. I thought you were married to the art. Pretty close. Pretty close. So, I will say one thing before we go. Before we continue. Like, right now, like, his top head is a little bit darker than it probably, like, should be. That might happen to some people. The panda jar. We start using a prop for each panda. I don't know what it is. I don't know why my brain's just like, panda, panda. Oh, and Lisa, too. I assumed you'd be around, too. Hello. Good to see ya. But if your panda bear is a little bit too dark in the forehead versus the cheeks, it's as easy as bringing that medium paint through and brushing it through again. But we'll see if that's a problem later, okay? We are going to go and do an outline, but it's not really an outline, okay? Because outline stresses people out, but this one's easy because he's a fluffy little guy, right? So we're using that same pointed little brush. Boop, pointed little brush that we've got. And we're going to go into the original color we started with. So like dark pink for us pink people. You're in Kimberley, BC, and you still came to the live? Thank you. Glad to catch you. It's amazing. Okay, so we are going to go to the edge of our little guy with our skinny little brush. With, in mind, I just noticed I'm in this camera too. What was I saying? With the line thickness in line, with the pressure in line, right? So we're not going to push too hard because we just want to make some wispy little lines. But we're going to go on the edge of our little panda bear. Oh my gosh, he's a Care Bear. And you are going to roughly just paint on some of these cutie little hairs. These fuzzy little fuzzballs. Some of you might want to do it in your medium pink, whatever works. But we're going to go around and define some of these shapes with our darker color. You're not Canadian, you're international. Love to hear that. I'm Canadian. We're in Calgary here. But we are a mix. There are a lot of Americans in here right now. I see y'all. I see y'all. Okay, so we're using, what was we doing? We're doing our fluffy little hairs. Tech coming in with the flame for the panda. Sorry guys, I don't know what it is. My brain has decided that it is a panda, and that is how it will stay. So, right, we're coming around down here, and same on this side. You can make them as hairy and as wispy as you want. But again, it doesn't have to be a solid outline. It can be just these crazy little lines. See how, if I bring it a little bit closer? Right? And same. Oh, wait, Infinite Silver, aren't you in Colombia? Or am I getting everybody mixed up today? And same with this cute little paw. Let's flail them on down. And I'll bring you in close while we're doing this little hand. Because this circle that we drew isn't the final. He does have a cute little thumb. And again, we're just using whatever color you've decided to outline with. And guess what his little thumb is? It's just a little... A little half circle, little boop. But you speak English and Spanish, so very good memory for saying, hey, yeah, I try to remember. You write English beautifully. I am I was French for most of my life, but once I went to high school, I kind of gave it up a little. Gave it up. I did give it up. I didn't practice it or continue it, and it's hard. I could never write in French anymore. I went through all French immersion my whole kindergarten to elementary to junior high, but I can't write it now. So that's good on ya. All right, and his other little hand. See how we've got these little circles going? Well, if we just cap that lighter circle that we did, do you see where that other hand's coming? And again, it can be fluffy. I just made it straight so that you guys could see what we're doing here. And then he's got another thumb. Meow. Cutie, cutie. Look at those little thumbs. To see us for only one day. That's the last Thursday of every month. That's true. Hey, I try. Like Dan said, people are my superpower, I guess. And we've got his little hand. Let's just bring it down. Fluff, fluff, fluff. And again, remember how I said at the start, if things are going weird, or if I tell you to do something and you try it and it stresses you out or you don't like the look of it, then don't do it. So if this furry outline is like, ugh, to you, then make a straight outline. Or make no outline. You've missed Thursday, I know. I have too. But life's just flying by, you guys. There is not enough time in a day. And I'm puffing out that cute little puffy on the side. Do, 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 do. Especially now that I stream from here and not from home. It's different too. Not working from home's been weird, y'all. It's been a very interesting transition. But I am just going on, fluffing. Fluffy McFlufferson. Doop, 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 doop. I personally think this is easier than just a straight on outline, because it can be messy and consistent. Remember, a little bit of water will help you pull that around on your brush. She's famous now, so she can only be on Thursdays. No. No, more it's that things take me so long to do. So in my regular job, like my commissions and my projects and stuff, things are just taking me so long, so I just don't have as much time as I used to. I used to be able to knock out a portrait in 2.5 hours. And I'm lucky if I knock it out in 12. So I just don't have the same... Yeah, it's not the same as when I used to do paint nights twice a week, is all. Alright, so let's get that little puffy hairs. Doop, 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 doop. And see what, since we're doing the outline not in black and doing it with the color that it's in, it's kind of cute. It's kind of nice. I think it's nice, at least. I guess you could obviously do this in black if you wanted to, too. But how much more fun when you do it in a color. I am full-time art creation, but I've been full-time for a while. I just, like I said, things used to be a lot faster, but now that I'm... And I still, like I was just talking about, I'm a fast painter. I still am very fast compared to most, but just not as fast as I used to be. My paintings are a lot more detailed than they ever were before. So it just takes a little bit longer. But look at that fluffy little tail. If I zoom into that. Look at that little fluffer. See, you can see all the 3 different values in there. Yes, 100%, Nico. It takes longer because, yes, perfectionism, yes, details, but yeah, my style has become way more detailed, and I'm very picky now. So, yes, all of the above. But yeah, my style is a lot more detailed, which is awesome, I think. You feel your pain. Yeah, see, it's tough. Now we're at this cutie face. And let's get some of those outlines going here too. On its cute little cheeks. And like maybe you feel like their cheeks have got a little bit bigger or you want them a little bit smaller. So I'm going to do this outline on the inside. I didn't push it out. I did it kind of on the inside of that shape. If you wanted to, but chubby cheeks are cute. I'm just always trying to figure out like to help things that might be happening to people at home. Same over here. Let's get some poofy cutie. And what time is it? 8:20. Okay. I think we're okay for time. Again, I guess there really is no time limit, but I try to do them in 2 hours. I'm going to do some dark lines just in this little crease with the cheek there. You can define some of those fluffies. He's even got eyebrows. Y'all, we've got eyebrows. And they're high up on that cute big forehead that we made. Boop. Boop. How's that? And fluff, 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 fluff. Fluff, fluff, fluff. Wait, Nikki, did you say you're painting right now too, and then you're going to do it again, or you're waiting to do it for tomorrow? You're watching today. I don't remember what you said. Oh my gosh, Lisa, don't apologize. You're on vacation. Okay, and then to make it extra cute, we're going to go onto the side here of this little... How about we outline the mouth first? If we go... Sorry, I can't breathe when I do that. So I did a little dark outline around that circle that we did. And on the edges here, imagine there's another bean, that we did a little bean here. Just make a little line. Like you're imagining there's a bean, but this is just his happy cheer bear smile. Smiley. Who knows what that's from? Anybody? What movie quote is Smiley? It's very obscure, and if you know, 10 points for Gryffindor. And we've got those cute smileys, and now we're gonna do a heart nose. And I feel like I've taught hearts a couple different ways, haven't I? And what's the best way to teach it? I'm not sure. We'll try this first. Okay, so we're just gonna do a line, a small little line, and from that line you're gonna do one heart side. So we're gonna come up the edge and bring it down like a teardrop, right? Does that make sense? And from that same point you're gonna do the same thing but just the opposite way. And then just color it in. Boop, boop. Look at that cute little stinker. And guess what else she's got? Cute little freaking, whatchamacallem, freckles. 1, 2, 3. Hello. I can't see her name. Zodiac Killer? Oh, Zodiac Killer? I butcher everyone's names hard. Okay, but we've got a cute hello, hello. I haven't seen your name around here before. How's it going? Welcome to the studio. How are those cute little freckles on our little Kerber? We've got a couple newbies. Look at all you new people sneaking in. Okay then, Ray. Hello, welcome. We love a newbie. We've got a couple newbies here today, and I like to see it. We're just painting this cute little Care Bear here. I'm realizing, yeah, mine's hot, hot pink. That's okay. New to my channel, not to caffeine. No, of course. Of course, of course. Zodiac Killer, crazy name for sure. It took me a while to say it, and then I was like, oh, I know what we're saying. Dying in the Heat. Okay, where are you from? Okay then, Ray. Because I can't say it's hot where we are. Are you in Memphis or Texas? Aren't those the two places right now that I've heard are just boiling? Assuming you're in America, I guess. South Carolina. We're in Canada. We're in Alberta. So it's just like rainy and chilly up here a little bit. Okay, folks, before we move on, we're just going to do the top line of Don't Test Your Luck then. Zodiac Killer. Sneaky, sneaky in here. I don't like it. I'm just watching a show on Disney where there's a guy who thinks that his real dad is a Zodiac Killer. Anybody see that? Anybody see that? Let's just go for one line of our... Again, if you're not doing Cheer Bear, then you're not going to be doing this part. But I'm going to use this hot pink that we've been using this whole time to make my red of the rainbow. So we're going to start here, and we're going to curl on up and curve on down. Pot is the old way to say it, isn't it? You're welcome here. Don't worry. You're not old. You're welcome here. Okay, so we've got that cute little rainbow begun. And then we're going to go into our white light pink that we've already made. You can even make it a little bit lighter. And if you don't have any of it left, just add a lot of white to your pink. And we're going to do just a light line of pink because this is not an actual rainbow color. This isn't the real order of a rainbow, okay? Rude. What part of Canada? We are in Alberta. I'm in Calgary. I feel like it's not a city that's known much from other people. It's not Vancouver or Toronto. It's on top of Montana. I think we're known for the Stampede. Oh, New Haven, Connecticut. See, okay, we've got a few Americans. Love to see it. Love to see it. Yeah. Question mark is right. We call it the greatest outdoor show on earth, and I don't know who coined that term because it is not right. But yeah, it's coming up in a week or so here. It's the Calgary Stampede. And we just love running. Okay, running of the bulls is way cooler. Running of the bulls is actually, I'd be proud. Now the Stampede's like a big rodeo, but then it's like a big party for the city too, and like a bunch of like musicians come and famous people, and people get drunk for weeks. Google Calgary Stampede. Okay, panda bears. Oh my gosh, Care Bears. Wow. Taylor figured out. We are gonna go into those cute little eyeballs, but we need a tiny touch of black. Like the tiniest touch, like hard. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Ah! Sorry guys, I pressed the wrong button. I do thank you for watching, but not yet. Sounds like an American weekend in Paris, Texas. There's a Paris, Texas? A Paris, Texas. I did not know. But yes, we are, people call us the Texas of Canada, don't they? Or am I wrong? I think so. I feel like I've heard that before. A Paris in Ontario, too. Wow, wow. Did I know that? I feel like I knew that, actually. And then London, Ontario, too. Okay, we've got a little skinny brush. What time is it? 8:30. Cool. A little skinny brush and a little bit of black. Remember, just a tiny bit of black. You don't need much of it onto your palette. We're going to go into that white circle that we made, and we're going to fill most of it, but not all of it. We're going to go... Oops, we are filling in the entire bottom half. Again, remember, I can't breathe when I do that. Sorry. Whoop. Cute panda's cute. Aw, narwhal. Thanks. Is it weird that California has both an Ontario and a Paris? That is odd. I didn't know California had an Ontario, too. Come on, get creative with these names, you guys. And someone said, you wish you could paint like this? Well, you've came to the right place. If you hit up my YouTube, there's literally like 80 paint nights of this. And I'll teach you how to paint, okay? You just gotta do it more, that's all. The more you paint, the better you get at it. I'm a firm believer that everybody can paint. A firm believer. Oh wow, one eye's way bigger than the other one, so I'm just gonna go in and try to fix that. Thanks, yeah, try it out. You can use a cheap supplies, see if you like it. See if you like it. That's step number one. You mean you're painting an empathetic, friendly mammal pink buddy children's toy? Yeah. I don't even know who owns them, so I kind of be like, sorry, Disney? Whatever. I know it's not Disney, but you know what I mean. In their cute little mouth, it's also black, that cute little circle that we made earlier. Right? A little mouth hole. I said it again. I don't know why I do that. And to make them even cuter, you have to go above that cute little eye that we did and give them eyelashes. Oh, you know I'm a sucker for eyelashes. And to do that, you copy the outline of the circle, right? We're copying that, but then we flail out a little piece at the top. And then a little bit on the other side. But check out that little alfalfa sprout eyelash. How about out them apples. This is all acrylic paint. We're always using acrylic. It dries fast. It's easier. Cheap. Can be cheap. Asking for a friend, would you paint and draw each lash? So, you obviously can if you want to. But if you want it to look... Oh my... Look what I just did. I just dropped my paintbrush right there. You can, but if you want it to look like a classic... I honestly just said Panda Bear. If you want it to look like a classic Care Bear, that artist didn't. So, up to you. Oh my god, but a little Care Bear with a bunch of eyelashes would be stinking adorable. Stinking adorable. Look at him. Coming along. Basically done. Once that... It looks like he has little tufts in his head too. Whatever, we can do that after. We need that black to dry before we can do our little white spot in there. But we got to finish up this cute little rainbow, right? And again, if you're not doing Cheer Bear, then the rainbow doesn't matter. You do whatever you want in the middle. But again, Cinderella, this was her suggestion. Because she messaged me on like Monday being like, have you thought of what we're painting next week? And I was like, oh my god, I forgot to tell everybody that I'm not going to be there next week. So I was like, oh, what do you want to paint? So because I feel bad because she couldn't come this week. She can only come next week. I was like, what do you want to paint? I'll paint what you want. You must be an art teacher. So that's funny. That's come up a couple times this stream, actually. Okay, then Ray. I'm not. I'm a full-time artist. I've just been an artist my whole life. Now I'm a full-time artist. I paint like commissions, children's books, murals, things for a living. But this teaching paint night stuff actually started during COVID. And so for the last 2 years, I've gotten better at a teacher. Yeah, well, hey, I'll take that as a compliment. I'll take it. I feel like I'm getting better because, like I said, that YouTube that I was telling you about, I'm not joking that there's like 80 plus different paint nights on there. So I always feel bad. The first ones I feel like are the worst. Like I wasn't that great at teaching. But like we did like a Baby Yoda, and that's like my most viewed videos. Like people try to do the Baby Yoda, and I feel like I gotta do it again because I don't feel like I taught it very well. But it's my most viewed one, and I wish I went back and was like, I'm not. Let's do a better one. You literally made me time travel to my art teacher, Miss Alvater. I sounded like her. I love that. And like Miss Lippy vibes. Does anyone know Miss Lippy from? Remember when I was asking for who knew what Schmiley was? It's Billy Madison. He squeezes the sunscreen on his chest and he goes Schmiley. But Miss Lippy is also from Miss Lippy is also from Billy Madison, and I could be her one day. Before your time. So I just aged myself. I guess the Care Bears is aging myself as well too. And Dresden, but it was fun, so it worked. I guess we did have fun with the Baby Yoda. We did. We just get some wonky little guys. And Nico says that they're not as bad as I say. Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel better too. Yeah, I just feel like I didn't know what I was talking about. But now that I've like done it so many times and I like see people's like results, right? So then I can see like not like where I went wrong teaching, but whatever. Oh, it looks like the rainbow goes a little bit farther down on this side. And the Tiger King, you sold me and coming back. That's true. We did paint Tiger King on here. I know, I gotta start doing just like paint lives, like where I just hang out. Yes, Care Bears was my aunt's thing growing up. My gen had Bratz and Unicorn Girl. A Unicorn Girl? Bratz were at Bratz. I had a little bit of Bratz in there too. I'm on the cusp. I'm at the end of whatchamacallit. I'm close to a Gen Z apparently, you guys. But I'm a 9,000% millennial. Strawberry shortcake, heck yeah. And she made a comeback too. Hello Kitty, good call. I was a Hello Kitty girl. Polly Pockets, anybody Polly Pockets? I feel like they're not safe for children anymore. I feel like there is so many swallowing hazards there. Hello Kitty is an interesting... I didn't know that she's like a real girl. I don't know. Like Hello Kitty has a story that I never knew about. How's our little rainbows going? Again, it's not like a real rainbow. We went hot pink to light pink to yellow to green to blue. And it's messy and crazy. Just how we like it. Yeah, I just kind of made it a little chunky, I guess. I should have made it a little thinner. Oh well. You know what's up. I might be very nitpicky right now. My daughter loved those. I just aged myself. Wait, hey. We are a group of a bunch of different ages in here. Donald Duck. Dan does a beautiful Donald Duck impersonation. I can't and I won't even try. But he does a very good impersonation. I just watched the Chip and Dale. There's like a new Chip and Dale movie because it's like Roger Rabbit, which was one of my favorites back in the day. It's like live action and cartoon mixed together, and it was not bad. It was not bad. It's by no means like Roger Rabbit. My Little Pony, not a unicorn. Okay, yes. My Little Pony is, yes. Yes. Yeah, I wasn't sure about the unicorn, but I got you on the My Little Pony. Roger Rabbit's effects were groundbreaking for its time, and still even watching it is so well done. And, oh, so good. And just to have all your like favorite characters come back. I need to watch Roger Rabbit again. It's been a while. Okay, you guys, this is basically a Care Bear. Hey, your first real show was Sailor Moon. I feel like I'm just like, me too. Sailor Moon was huge for me too. I remember I had a little Sailor Moon nightie that I just lived for. And I just painted Sailor Moon last year. I have a print of her on my website. So we've got a Care Bear. Don't look at its weird rainbow. I'm not happy about it at the moment. I'm gonna fix it. But remember, the main thing you gotta do for maximum cuteness on any cartoon ever, we come back on here and look, right, with our skinny little paintbrush. Oh, why does adding a little white dot just make your life... Like, how much cuter did that thing just get once we put some little dots in there? Oh, so cute. Oh, we're bringing up so many good shows down there. I just saw Bugs Bunny, like Space Jam. So good. But also, of course, Animaniacs. And, of course, Looney Tunes, because that's Bugs Bunny, right? But, man, does that dot in their eye just look stinking cute. Zodiac Killer, my heart. Is your heart exploding because of how cute this... I almost said it again. Care Bear is? Or because you're just reminiscing of all these old shows? Brings you back. And remember, how detailed do you want to go? You can go back in with lighter pink. You can add more fluffies if you want, right? Go through and make it as textured and as detailed as you'd like. Some people might just like him flat and plain. Some people might want him to be a little crazier. Your heart's buried, though? Well, you are the Zodiac Killer. And fluffies, fluffies. To lighten it up if you want. If a Care Bear can bring your heart out, it wasn't buried very far. And that's a good thing. Okay. How do we feel about our cutie? Making hearts melt left, right, and center. I'm just adding. Now that does sound like a teacher. It's fair. Maybe just by accident I became a teacher. I always say, because my mom, I remember in high school, my mom was like, you should be an art teacher. And I was like, ew, no. Just a little jerk. I was like, no, I don't have the patience to teach people. Or like, I don't know how to teach people. Whatever. And then here I am. How many years later? When did I graduate? 13 years later. I graduated from high school in 29. Panda Tab and Cutie Tab, get out of here. Get out of here. Thanks, you guys. I'm just fluffing up some detail just for fun. Getting your GED now? Awesome. Good for you. Tired of scamming. Hey, good on ya. I love that. How's that? The perfectionist in me hates this circle. So if you don't like your rainbow, like I don't like my rainbow, so it's as easy as just getting some white in there. Ooh, my blue wasn't dried yet. And then block them on Snapchat, so you say that you send it but you don't send it. And then do you narc on them, or you just take the bunny and run? I was just watching this show, and that's just why this reminds me of it. I was watching this show on Netflix. It's something about web. Whatchamacallit? Oh my gosh, I'll have to find it. But it's about like internet crimes. Oh, Generation Hustle. It's something about web something. I'm just ruining this belly right now trying to make the perfect rainbow because I'm a spaz. It was probably fine. Well, you should probably check out Generation Hustle too. Love that. Perfect. I do love those. They're so interesting to me. Okay. There is the shape that I want it to be, and now I just gotta tweak those lines in there. Your vibe's very calming. I'm definitely coming back. Okay then, Ray. Sweetheart. Thank ya. See, guys, because I'm a painter. I paint pictures all day. It's relaxing. That's why I always say I have such a calm demeanor, is because I paint for a living. Everyone should do it too. Oh my goodness, you guys, what have I done? Web of make-believe. Death lies in the internet. Dresden, I always know that I can have you... I can... What you call it? I can rely on you to find the facts. Also, you did it with a local hockey team with you. Drew it a lot of times. Just trust the process. Yeah. Yeah. I did paint those hockey players a lot of times. You'll have to check it out and see if they're on your tail. Yeah, you should. But there's a couple. Like, there's one that's like a guy was like trying to get nudes from this like whole city, but like in a very like he would hack their accounts, whatever, just crazy. And then there was one with yeah, like he GoFundMe scams. Yeah, see, that's fair. The one of them was like he like was writing tax slips for like dead people. It was crazy. It was crazy. Crazy girls. Prismatic Panda, Tech Narwhal, you just coming in here, dropping props like it's your job, and I appreciate the crap out of you. Just seems like American Vandal. Okay, American Vandal is an amazing show. Okay. For someone who loves like crime documentaries, American Vandal is obviously scripted, but it's like cool that you like it's the best. Oh, it's so good. Watch American Vandal, both seasons, you guys. It is so good. If you like those like crime documentaries where like every episode you like learn something new and you get closer to the whatever. You might be low-key watching my Insta stories. Well, I hope you do. That's what I put them on there for. To be watched. Investigation Discovery has some good scam shows. Good to know. Good to know. Thanks. I love to find more of them because I'm just watching trash TV right now. On Netflix, there's a show called Snowflake Mountain. And I like love trash TV, and I loved Survivor back in the day, and it's like a nice combination of the two. Snowflake Mountain. Okay, well then that's Investigation Discovery is the way to go. I do paint to shows. Yeah, I always have shows on. I don't paint to music, I paint to TV for some reason. Okay, well this weird rainbow that I just had to hyper-focus on there for a bit is maybe almost done. I think I'm just going to curve it down. I just made them too thick. But does it really matter? No. The rainbow that it was before was probably fine. But I'm a spaz. If Justin was here, he would be calling me a spaz. My YouTube, my Instagram, everything, caffeine is Taytayski. Where is it? Oh, right here. Taytayski. Across the board. My name is Tayodinsky, so it's Taytayski. I shove it together. How are you, Care Bearers? If you didn't do a pink one, what one did you do? What belly did you do? And oh my gosh, here's me. This is how my brain works. I just remembered I saw Dresden say something about glitter. This is a perfect piece to glitter. We probably should have. I did it again. I didn't bring glitter. I have to keep a glitter over here. We welcome everyone to the community. Heck yeah, we do, Infinite Silver. We're just a band of misfits that comes to Thursdays. And just for you newbies, usually this happens on the last Thursday. You don't see Sailor Moon? Oh. Okay. So Sailor Moon is on, I painted it myself. So like I didn't do it like as a tutorial. I did it. You can find it on my Instagram or on my Etsy, which are both also Taytayskis. Because like I said, I'm a full-time artist, so this is just something I do once a month. These paint nights, it used to be during COVID twice a week, which is crazy. But now it's just once a month, the last Thursday of every month. Just this month, I last minute am leaving town next Thursday, so I quickly did this one. Ooh, you slicker than an oil spill. Hey, you gotta market yourself. Instagram's what I post on the most. That's my I'm on there daily in my stories, posting what I'm doing and such. Like I said, I'm a millennial, so TikTok's tough for me. I know it's where everything's going. I do have a TikTok, also Taytayski, but I still stick with my Instagram pretty hard. Do we have a panda? I gotta do it. Do we have a Care Bear, y'all? Do we've got a cutie little Care Bear ready for the races? Whatever to that eyeball. Thanks for the follows. Maybe you can do a live on Instagram. I've done a couple lives on Instagram, actually. I've been debating it, too. Again, it's, I have to be in the right space, especially if I'm just, like, working on something, just painting. Something for myself, it's, like, hard for me to, like, do the comments and paint at the same time. Because I usually get sucked into the flow. I'm just nitpicking over here. I am not going to do a background because I'm a jerk. Because backgrounds sometimes are the worst. Maybe have 2 cell phones. So I do have 2 cell phones conveniently. Not because I sell paraphernalia. Because it actually happened on live here. What paint night was it? It's on YouTube somewhere, but one of the paint nights that we were doing, I'm just using light pink up here to make his ear holes bigger. One of the paint nights we were doing, my phone fell like from my desk mid paint night, and everyone's like, "Oh, I heard it fall, like careful, it's gonna break." And I was like, "Oh my god, you guys, I drop my phone every day, all day. It's fine. I'm not worried about it." And then like 10-20 minutes later in the stream, I like went down to pick up my phone and it was smashed. Like fully smashed. Like I ate my words real quick, lack. So I ran to get a new phone that day, but I kept the smashed one, and that's what I like film my time lapses and stuff on, is the smashed one. And then I have my noise one. What is it? It's like, what is it? Is it a 13? Are there 13 iPhones? Is there an iPhone 13? I think it's a 13. Being detailed and obsessing over them is nitpicking? Yes. A nitpicky little jerk over here. Okay, I think we've got a cutie patootie. Remember that phones aren't made like they used to be? Yeah, that's true. We were actually just talking about how we had like Nokias and how their batteries were so tough and they were just indestructible. Indestructible? Not undestructible. There were so many different types of phones out there. It's on your story? What's on my story? My Sailor Moon? Oh, no. Here, let me check quick. Not my story, but I thought it was high at the top, but I post on there a lot. Y'all painting. Let me know if you have any questions while I go find this little... Let me see. Oops. Well, maybe she's farther down than I thought she was. Yep, it is. I thought I shared it as a print, but obviously I didn't. So she is right before Vig. You found it. Okay, you're quicker than me. There, just because we were talking about it, I can show it on here. That little cutie. And I do sell prints of it on Etsy. That's why I said Etsy, but oh, I love her. And I also painted Loki and that Scarlet Witch at that time. Just liked it. Love that. Thank you. Love a like. That's important. Oh, my phone's gonna die. Okay, y'all. Scarlet Witch. Right? Is that her name? What did I call her? I watched a YouTube video on a Nokia being dropped from a 3-story building and it survived. Yes. That's the quality we need these days. But okay, if you wanted to do a background... Oh, didn't like her. I got what you're saying. I got the name right. But she's a little overacted, maybe a little bit. I'm just for fun gonna make a little shadow in blue underneath our little cutie. And this is by using super wet paint. Until it drips. Come on, come on. It's like basically just water with a little bit of blue in it. And I'm just gonna bring it around there, little feeties. So that they're not just floating in space. And then we're done. When it comes to backgrounds, thanks, Justin. I just choked on my own spit, apparently. Look at this little empathetic friend mammal child toy. Justin just trying to help me out with all them cease and assists I've been getting. This isn't a Care Bear. What is a Care Bear? It's an empathetic friend mammal child toy in pink. But I just have been talking about backgrounds and not finishing my sentence a bunch of times. What was I saying? No offense, but I love you. I'm coming back. Zodiac Killer. Did we just become best friends? Well, it's the last Thursday of every month is when I'm here. Usually. The paint drop is a Taytayski signature. Heck yeah, it is. Look at all you OGs in the crowd today. Thanks, Tay. Have a great month. Thanks, Dresden. I'm so glad that you were here. I was surprised. I didn't know if you would have caught the memo. But yeah, this was a rando. This is a random one that I just threw quickly because I'm going to be out of town next week. But... back to the last Thursday of every month. Does anybody want to send in their Care Bears? Oh my god, I don't know why I just choked. Let me see. Nobody sent me in a picture yet. Am I going to the Canadian rodeo? That's really funny. So, no. I lived downtown where this Canadian rodeo happens, and I've lived down there for 10 years, and it got to the point, oops, I just smacked that, where we would, like, leave town when the Stampede came, because it's just, like, all day. People are like, yeehaw! Yahoo! And they, like, yell out the window, or you can hear it out their window. There's, like, puke everywhere because people are just partying for, like, 2 weeks. There's like horses. All of our cops wear cowboy hats. They don't do that year round, sometimes, but not year round. But during Stampede, they all got their cowboy hats. Some of them ride horses. And people think that we're like a Western city, but we're not. We're not a Western city. We're not. Just around Stampede time. Every Calgarian has their Stampede wear. It's like a couple plaid shirts and like a cowboy boot that like sits in their closet until Stampede comes around. Watch me probably go. Maybe I will go once, but it's not usually my jam. Calgarian. Yes, we're from Calgary. 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 It's so funny when you like sound it a different way. It sounds like a Nigerian from California. Calgarian. Hey, I never thought of it that way. But yeah, Calgarian. That's us. But no, I have a little family, a little last minute like family get together, family reunion at my uncle's lake. They invited us at the start of the year. Not the start of the year. They invited us like a couple weeks ago, and can't say no. Haven't seen my family in a long time. We were a very, like, we every year we'd have a reunion, and COVID got in the way of that, and so this is kind of our first like time back. I haven't seen many of them in years, so I couldn't say no. Can't be like, sorry, I have a paint night. Sorry, I have a free paint night that I host. I can't come. So I did it today instead. And then I pop it up on YouTube, so everybody that couldn't make it today can watch it and do it later. Anytime, doesn't even have to be Thursday. But, yeah, so I'm glad too, Zodiac Killer, and okay, then Ray. Glad you caught me today. Wait, I'm not done yet. We have to make a thumbnail photo. I don't know why I just choked and now my throat's dry. Oh, wait, let's look at... Nico sent in his... Oh my goodness. It's freaking cute. Let me see here. My eyes are just watering because I was yawning. Your Care Bear brought me to tears. Okay. Look at this stinking little cutie. Which one is this? Look how good it did. Thank you for giving me the motivation to get back into art. Okay, then Ray. I love to hear it. That's my biggest, that's what I'm here for. I think everyone should paint and could paint and can paint. Wish Bear, so cute. Nailed it on the star. Love that it's pink at the bottom. He's just the opposite of mine. Love that. Such a good job. Such a good job. Okay, then Ray, that's what I do every day, so I suggest that as well. Okay, love that. Love that. Okay, let me get this little... Push this out of the way. Oh yeah, for I guess all the newbies are gonna be like, what are you doing? I make my thumbnail. I needed water. I do my YouTube thumbnail on live because I'm too lazy to do it later. But this one's not fun. Like, I just have to be cute, I feel like. It's not like... Last time we did we do an elephant last time? Was it the elephant last month? And I became an elephant, which is great. Okay, let's get the cutie right here. And it's dark over here. Yes, an elefante, right, it was an elefante. That's weird that the lighting is so off. What you doing? Oh well. I'm just gonna be a little cutie. I'll be a Care Bear too. Oh, my face is blue. We'll get that up there. Care Bear. And a cutie Tay. I think that's all. I'm just gonna be pink. I'm gonna make myself a Care Bear. Should my belly be in it? So I make my own little insignia. This one's cute. It turned out pretty cutie. Let's look at it with, oh my gosh, I literally just smacked it against there. You spare Nico. Nico, don't worry, the Zodiac Killer's not gonna kill ya. He just told us you're safe. You're safe and sound. I love that. Okay, y'all. You're the best. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I truly didn't think anyone would be here because I last minute changed the the schedule. Awesome. A bunch of you came. Love that. Hope you all have a good night. Hope that we see you next week for next month's Thursday. I don't know what we're painting. We can paint whatever you want. You can always send me a line if there's something specific you're thinking of. And, yeah, newbies, love to see ya. You're the best. And you know you can find me on everything. Taytayski on Etsy. Taytayski on YouTube. Taytayski on Caffeine. Taytayski on Pinterest. What else do we got? Instagram, hell yeah. Do I do customs? Yes and no. I do customs, but I'm very backed up at the moment, so I'm not taking new customs at the moment. Hell yeah, head over to my Etsy. Also my website. I'm slowly moving everything from my Etsy to my website. But at the moment, there's like stuff on both. Etsy's dumb. They ruin things for everyone. So that's why I'm trying to move it to my website. But that's also a freaking journey and a half to do that. Website stuff is exhausting, and I don't have the time, but I also don't have the money to pay someone to do it. So slowly but surely, I'll have them both on there. But Etsy has most of it. My website, which is Taytayski.com. And also, you're right, TikTok Taytayski too. Thank you. They have all the original paintings that I've put up, I think, for sale are on there. Nico, are you a website guy? Is that what you're saying to me right now? I also still owe you a print, so a little. You made your own. I may contact you about it. Maybe. Only social you don't have is TikTok. TikTok is tough because it can be garbage. Like, there's lots of garbage on there, but after you use it for a while and it like understands what you like, TikTok's unreal. It's dangerous. Like the things that I've learned on it is amazing, but the hours I've wasted on it is also amazing. So, what can you do? Have a great 20 minutes next week. Are you talking about my live painting? Let's hope that I have 20, 40, 60 minutes, because I hope I make it through every round. Could you imagine if I go to the thing with all the professionals and I win? Are you kidding? It's live painting, but I don't know it's live. Like, I don't think it's like streamed live. I should ask if they have a stream of it, but it's at the Porsche. It's like at the Porsche dealership here in Calgary. I'm gonna ask. I'll see if you could. I know they streamed them before during COVID, but I don't know if that's something that they did all the time. I don't know if that's something that's always provided, but I will look into that. I'll look into that because that would be cool. Make it out here sometime. Ontario's cooler than Alberta. That's fine. Don't feel like you have to. We have the greatest outdoor. Why can't I talk today? We have the greatest outdoor show on earth. So, pretty great. Okay, pals, you're the best. I could chat with you all day. Catch you on the flip side. Thanks for everything. You guys are the best. And we'll hopefully some drinks when you do. Of course. You'll come to the studio. Send me a line. Gotta check out Chroma Club. You see, she loves us. I do. I love y'all. Thanks for the support always. You the bomb. Okay, now it's time for the outro vid for real. This is real. Okay, bye guys.